Welcome back to another video, guys. SmackYoG here. I know it's been such a long time since I posted a video, but honestly I just haven't been able to find the time to post in months. It's felt like so long since I've been posted, but this video and a bunch of other ideas I have in my mind have really been bugging me, and I really just wanted to make this video and hopefully more in the future. But you guys see the title of the video. I want to talk about the Sinister Six, and I think it's about time we get a special season again. Now, this is just a random idea, random thought that I've had. I'm sure a lot of other people and a lot of other creators have talked about this, but I think it would be a great idea just to have a whole season dedicated to the Sinister Six. Now, hear me out, right? Like, there haven't been any real prominent villains within Marvel Rivals that we can play as. I know they just had the Apocalypse trailer, right? They just had that whole build up and then he gets killed at the end. Some people were saying that that's Gore, some people saying that's the Hood, whatever, right? We really don't have much villain representation in general, right? If you're looking at who they've added, they're adding the Hood this week. He's pretty much an anti-hero based on the lore, right? We've gotten Black Cat. She's also somewhat of an anti-hero. And yeah, I mean, just taking a look at the whole roster, it's just going to be mainly just regular heroes. They try making the villains the storyline, I guess you could say, to bring in more lore aspect across the merging timelines. But even the villains are just anti-heroes. I guess the only villain you can really point out is Hela. Magneto is not a villain in my book. Really. Like, he's just kind of, I don't know, you could go into the comics and get into his character and his lore and, his mindset as a character. But he's very interesting, but really just not a villain in my eyes. Anyways, I digress. I mean, going back into the villain aspect, we still have yet to see Dr. Doom. They've been edging this guy since the release of the game. I remember back when the beta was out and they were like, oh, Dr. Doom is the big, he's the head honcho. He is the main villain of this game. He's the whole, antagonist in this merging timeline scenario, whatever's going on, the whole situation. And he's like destroying timelines, he's killing people's timelines, he's killing people. But yeah, I mean, that guy has yet to come, like, Dr. Doom is not here. This dude is just chilling, he's just aura farming in backgrounds, he's just aura farming in the lore, he's aura farming in trailers, he's not doing anything besides aura farming. And I know everyone's like, oh, they just did the whole Road to Doomsday thing, they're just gonna drop Doom on Doomsday. And I get that, I'm sure NetEase actually had confirmation of when Doomsday was actually gonna come out, and, they've had obviously time to prep for Doom to come. But, like, there's still no confirmation for Doom to drop for Doomsday, and at this point in time, it's been almost 2 years since the game came out, when, in 3-4 months, however long it's going to take, right, like December, I think it dropped, but in 2024, 2 years, no Dr. Doom, and he's the big bad. What's going on, right? But yeah, I just want more villain representation, and I think, like, overall, just Spider-Man has the most fleshed out rogues gallery in Marvel. I think that is without a doubt a fact, and the fact that we need more villain representation, well, not the fact that, it's my opinion, I think a majority of, the online internet's opinion is they want more villain representation. I think that'd be dope. I mean, yeah, we kind of got that with the Hood, but again, looking at the lore, just reading some of that information they put out, he is somewhat of an anti-hero, and he's just aura farming as well in his trailer. And they just make these people for aura farming, but we need more villains. And like I said, Spider-Man has the most fleshed out rogues gallery, so what better character to go with than picking up his villains? But going back to the main point of the video, I'm sorry for that really long intro. I'm breaking down why I want to make this video. Let's talk about the Sinister Six, right? I think we go with the original 6. You go Doc Ock. He's legendary. Everyone knows Dr. Octavius. I was going to say Octopus, whatever. Doc Ock, man. Everyone loves this guy. Clear-cut Vanguard. We definitely need more Vanguards in the game. We don't really need that many duelists, but I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to do 2-2-2. 2 Vanguards, 2 duelists, and 2 supports. Or 2 strategists, whatever they're called. But yeah, Doc Ock is clearly going to be a Vanguard in my eyes. I think he just fully fits that role. He has the 8 arms. He can send bots. He can do a lot of things. He's pretty mobile. He has a lot of gadgets, very tech heavy. So I'd be interested to see how he plays as a Vanguard, especially with the Hood being a guy with 2 pistols and becomes the gun devil from Chainsaw Man for his ultimate. I would love to see what NetEase could do with this character. Now, going a little further next, right, we got Electro. I think he can pretty much be. I originally had him as a duelist, so actually looking at my list, I was thinking maybe 3 Vanguards. I know I just said 2-2-2, but Electro could be. You could make him a duelist, or you can make him a support, a strategist. I don't know how he'd play. Yeah, he'd be interesting to see, right? I think he'd be a cool new take on some strategists, but like all their strategists are very unique in that sense. You know, White Fox is really cool, very damage heavy. Same with Gambit. Just looking at those, I mean, Ultron was a huge, like really interesting pick for a strategist role, just based on his lore and how he plays. And a lot of people are like, oh, he's more of a duelist, he's more damage, you know. And he doesn't really do much healing, and his healing kind of did suck at the beginning. It kind of still does, but he's still interesting to play. And I think Electro could also be an interesting strategist role. If not, he can be an easy duelist. Right. Next up on the list, Kraven the Hunter. Right. Also an iconic Spider-Man villain, notoriously been in the Sinister Six. I know there's occasionally times where they take out specific people. They could throw in the Rhino in like Negative Man. I'm not going to mention those two people, hence why I just mentioned them now, but, you know, feel free to drop down in the comments what you think those people would look like and how they'd work. I know Negative Man honestly could just be a strategist, and then Rhinos obviously has to be a Vanguard. I don't care what you say. But yeah, back to the point, Kraven the Hunter, that guy is always hunting something. You can spin his lore however you want, and I think he could be a good trapper. And that could also be like, think about Penny Parker, right? Like how she somewhat has a trap mindset game-wise, right? You could do the same thing with Kraven, and he could be an up-close sort of Vanguard, or you can even spin him the duelist route. But I really do see him as more so as like a Vanguard, just like somewhat of a trapper. And kind of, he doesn't really have many shields, but I don't really know how his gameplay would work, but I mean, NetEase is so creative with how they make these characters. Like they could make it work and it'd be like perfect. I don't know how to explain it. They're just so good at their jobs. I guess that's why they get paid, right? But anyways, I mean, Kraven the Hunter, that'd be a dope trapper Vanguard. Going on my list, you know, you got Mysterio, classic Sinister Six villain, a classic Spider-Man villain in general. Clear as day, he's got to be a strategist in my eyes. He's so unique. He could do so many things. I mean, taking a look at just like Loki, right? You could have clones. You can do something similar where you do like mist clones with Mysterio. It could be just like redundant since you already have that in a strategist. But I don't know. I had him when I made my like characters we need video, and I had like a whole fleshed out idea of what he could do. He could throw smokes. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what he did. I mean, his ultimate was cool. Mysterio can go so many different routes, but he, in my eyes, should 100% be a strategist. I think that'd be a missed opportunity in their end, and you know, a lot of people would love to see Mysterio in the game, let alone see him as a strategist. So you know, that's just even more work for the fans, right? Like they want to see this character in the game, and they want more strategists, and it kind of works so well and meshes so well together that they should just make him a strategist. All right, moving on with the list, Sandman. He's again always been in the Sinister Six. Great, iconic Spider-Man villain. One of my favorites growing up, especially in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man series, his trilogy. He's got to be like a shield Vanguard, right? He can make and manipulate sand, right? You could give him like a whole chain, I don't even know, mallet. I don't know what the spike ball, I don't know what the term is, but give him that as one of his hands, and then you could give him like a hammer, right? You could do so much with him. You could give him so many abilities. You can give him like a sand wall that he can put up. You can even, for his ultimate, you can just like put everyone in quicksand or something. Like think about Hazard's ult from Overwatch. That kind of would be perfect. Think about Groot and how he sucks people in together. Kind of in that similar fashion. Do a Hazard ult where it's quicksand and people kind of like just freeze in the floor. They kind of just like sink in a little. Either that, or like you can make it so the area around you like slows people and does a little damage over time, similar to May from Overwatch with her you know, Blizzard ultimate, but not fully freezing them. You could with the quicksand, but I think that'd be an interesting take, right? He just perfectly simulates what a Vanguard is. And just we need more shield tanks. I think that's telltale sign. I mean, we don't have necessarily. This wouldn't be a direct shield tank like Doctor Strange and Magneto, but it'd be more like a group shield where he's making walls. But you could also even just do the sand, make it a shield, something like that. But anyways, last and final villain from Sinister Six is gonna be the Vulture, and I know I talked about Electro a bit playing potential strategist or even a duelist role. Excuse me. Vulture could do the exact same, right? Like he could do either duelist or strategist. I kind of want to see him as more as a duelist. We do have, but not that many people who are flyers. I don't want to make this game where it's so hectic. I mean, look at all these new team ups and all the new visuals they put on the game. They're kind of doing too much. There's a lot more clutter in this new season. I don't know if I'm a fan, and yeah, I mean, it'd just be hard to keep track of. I don't want to increase the amount of clutter on the screen by adding so many flyers to the point where it's like you got to keep track of everything, right? I mean, you get Spider-Man in general. I'm talking about Spider-Man's villains. That guy, it's technically he can fly across the map, but like in terms of real flyers, the only person that comes to mind is Storm. But I mean, Vulture could be a nice, additional duelist if you want in that sense. You could even be a strategist. I don't mind. Play how you want. Electro and Vulture could either be duelist or strategist. I don't mind. But yeah, pick one, and yeah, that could work. All right, next up, I mean, not much. We just did all six. Venom's already in the game. He's not even a Sinister Six. I don't think any other symbiotes are in the Sinister Six. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, just thinking about it, this would have been like a perfect release time for a Sinister Six season. Brand New Day, I completely forgot, just came out. And you could even split it up into 2 seasons, right? You could do like, three heroes in this one season, and then the next season you do the other three, which they could even do if like the next Spider-Man's movies come out soon, right? Like you got Tom Holland's already signed up for his second trilogy, starting off with Brand New Day, so it just makes perfect sense following that schedule. You could even, do that split. And like I think it's time we get another special season, right? The only one that was special was the first season, which was Fantastic Four season, where they dropped all 4 heroes in one season. You got, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, you got the Thing, and you got Johnny Storm, right? The Human Torch. All 4 of them were dropped in one season. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was like I think the first season, and it was pretty memorable, right? Ever since then, they've been doing 2 heroes, 2 drops a season. I mean, yeah, they've amped up the schedule by cutting the season short instead of 1.5 months to just 1 month for the half season, so 2 months worth of a season instead of 3. So we're getting, what, 6 heroes a year? I honestly don't remember. I can't do the math. Whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, 12 heroes a year. What am I saying? It's a hero a month. Whatever. You guys get the point, what I'm saying. But yeah, we could get a nice special season. And like I said, with the remaining 2 movies in Tom Holland's second trilogy, you can split it off and you do 3 and 3. You could choose the first 3 of the Sinister Six. You throw them in the first season, and then you do the next 3 in the next season when the next movie comes out. It's also like the way their promo works. They had the whole Captain America Brave New World. They were like, oh, you get a new skin, and I forgot what the skin was. I think it was just the Winter Soldier, but it made no sense. Yeah, but they still have to add Falcon into the game, by the way. I don't think that'll ever happen. I could be lying. I could be wrong, but you never know. They tend to go with really niche picks, especially recently. But yeah, let me get back to the point. You do 2 seasons. You could do a Sinister Six season part 1, and then Sinister Six season part 2. You just drop them and get a lot of promo for the Spider-Man movies. And people love Spider-Man. You just look at the box office records for this most recent one. Tom Holland's been in like every single breaking box office movies like in his whole career. It's like just Marvel. Yeah, and he was on the Odyssey, but whatever. Just Marvel just, you know, carries, and really Spider-Man carries Marvel. So everyone's gonna go and watch a Spider-Man movie. I personally have not seen it yet, so don't put any spoilers in the comments. I've been pretty off social media for this, you know, trying to actually maintain an original opinion based on the movie. So yeah, just don't spoil it in the comment section. Anyways, yeah, the next two movies just dropped two Sinister Six seasons. Simple as that. Yeah, I mean, I like the niche character picks they've been doing, but you know, we do need the occasional fan service itch. They need to scratch that itch. Like, you know, they've done it with Cyclops. And I kind of find it kind of interesting how, like, all the leaks that they put out originally and tried to cover up and say those were fake leaks and, like, see if people were, like, hacking it, whatever. I don't know, like, just to amp up hype for the game. I think they all, for the most part, have come out as true. Like everyone they put in the game is that was leaked is like in the game now, like fully. So I don't think we saw anyone from the Sinister Six on that timeline or those leaks, and I'm assuming they have since fixed that and people aren't able to access it anymore. But I don't know. People are still already like telling us who the next heroes are to be added to the game. Like they're saying Gore is gonna be next, which Gore the God Butcher and Doctor Doom is one hell of a combo to be put into the game in one season. So I'm really looking forward to season 10. But yeah, anyways, I mean, let me just wrap up the video, guys. Sinister Six, I think that is a clear-cut special season they should be doing. Just makes so much sense for Evolving Spider-Man, especially if you time it around for promo for his next two movies. You do the 3 and 3. But Doc Ock 100% has to be in there. I think Mysterio 100% has to be in there. Sandman and Vulture definitely both also need to be in there. So you pick and choose. I think those are some solid choices. I don't know, has Morbius been in the Sinister Six? I don't really see that working out for this, just because that could have made sense with the Dracula launch, you know, that season, but that was the Fantastic Four. Anyways, I'm kind of just rambling at this point, but you guys get the gist. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Would you guys like to see another special season with the Sinister Six added to Marvel Rivals? I think that'd be super hot. I think that'd be a great idea. You bring in a lot more hype into the game. You drop 3 heroes for a special season. Maybe even, you know what? Just thinking about it, what if they did a special season once a year where they dropped more than just the 2 heroes and had like a whole rollout for it like they did for the Fantastic Four? I think that'd be a great idea. You know, you could even do a not a Sinister Six, a symbiote season, which, yeah, you know what, now that I think about it, really, the only symbiote I really want to see is Carnage. Some people could go and talk about, you know, Phage, I think Lasher. Who's the person who's who's the symbiote that's like super tech based? That could be like a good strategist. Toxin could even be a strategist, which would be funny. You know, you can't do anti-Venom because he's a skin clearly. You can't do Agent Venom because he's a skin for Venom, which makes no sense. He's a completely different character and kind of just like is a mesh of like 3 characters put in one. Anyways, I'm kind of just talking at this point just to talk, but yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Sinister Six, would you guys like to see it? Yes or no? If not, who would you rather see? Or what other special season would you rather see? Let me know down in the comments, guys. Catch y'all in the next one.